frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? We'll find business. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. My name is Paul. Net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Nothing heard. If there's any emergencies, please call 911. If you can't do that, you can call us and we'll call it for you. Just make sure it's for something important, because then we'd be party to a semi-crime, misdemeanor, or whatever it is. For information on this net, you can look us up right now on YouTube, and that's you can look it up under my call, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey in the YouTube search block. Or you can look us up on our website, 146415.net, 146415.net. Some information there is of interest to those who haven't seen it before. You can also see us on groups.io, groups.India Oscar, and that's for our email distribution site, which we now have about 101 recipients. Or last but not least, you can see us on, you can just write me at Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. We conduct the net on 146.415, that's 146.415 FM Simplex. And the purpose of the net is to have fun, meet other people, get on the air, improve our skills, improve our rag chew, I guess. We improve our station so we can hear better. And when we put it on YouTube, you can hear who you're not hearing and figure out what you got to do to hear better. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events, of which I have a couple, but not too much. Tonight is the itinerary for tonight's number 576 net, 576. We're starting from the south, by the way. But it's going to be the lightning round check, and remember, it's just one right after the other. Just name, rank, not rank and serial number, but name, your call, your name, and your what do you call it? Your location. We'll do that anyway, and then of course we're also having the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net immediately following the 2-meter simplex net. And then we will be having the the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net, and then it's followed by the 144.240 upper sideband net. That's 144.240 upper sideband. Does anybody have any other announcements? All righty. Hold on one second, please. Just want to turn up the volume a little bit. I got to stand up to do that because something's in the way. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. Then we need to start taking check-ins if there's no questions. We also have a couple of nets coming up, but everybody who's on the mailing list gets the announcements about the other Simplex nets from Bowling Green and the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club's nets, as well as the Wilson County Emergency Preparedness net that's on Tuesday nights. So tonight we're starting, like I said, with the South, and we'll start taking check-ins now with, remember, your call, your name, and your location, please.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, Larry, Rockwood.
Hey, Larry, good to have you in there tonight from Rockville. That's Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. Who else we got south? Please come in.
Kilo India 4 November Delta November, David in Meadville.
Hey, David, good to have you in there. I haven't heard from you in a little while, but it's good to have you in here. Remember, no rules. It's a Kilo India 4 November Delta November in Reedyville. That's David. Who else south?
Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee, Bill Murfreesboro.
Hey, Bill, good to have you in there as well. Great signal tonight. Who else is south? Please come in.
Kilo 4 Oscar Fox Oscar this time. Hermitage, Tennessee on South Mount Juliet Road.
Very good. Hermitage, gotcha, in Hermitage. Donnie, Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar. Remember, you really don't do this for me as much as you do it for everybody else who's listening, where you are and your call and your that kind of stuff. I recognize almost everybody's name instantly, but it's really for everybody else. Who else south? Please come in.
I'm sort of south. November India 4 Delta, Brentwood.
November India 4 Delta in Brentwood, and that is Carl. Good to have you in there, Carl. Yeah, you can. You're south of something. You're south of Kentucky. Who else is south? Please come out.
Yeah.
Who else south? Please come now. Well, we ran out of south. Let's move over to the east then. Please come in.
WA4ZHI, James in Mount Juliet.
Hey, James. But you know what? I'm going to take Richard first. Kilo India 4. I got to give him a break. He actually started to talk and then you covered him up. Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo. That's Richard. Good to have you in there, Richard, from Lebanon. Lebanon, excuse me. Keep on saying it the Yankee way. Just Lebanon. Richard in Lebanon. It's Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo. And James, Whiskey Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel, India. I know you didn't mind, James.
Poor little Richard, I don't mind.
No. Who else is east? Please come on.
N4, NYA. This is Dale over in Lebanon. Good evening.
Hey, Dale. Good to hear from you over there in Lebanon. Hope you're feeling good.
Well, so far so good. We're staying hunkered down and trying to mind our own business and hoping everybody else does the same, but we're good.
Very good, Dale. All right, it was Dale in Lebanon, November 4, November Yankee Alpha. Who else is east?
Okay, I'm sorry. Can we Stan also in Lebanon?
Yeah, very good, Stan. We always get a good showing from Lebanon. Good to have you in there, Stan. That's Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo. I think they're right, and I scratched it there. It is Kilo Mike, isn't it?
Roger.
Yeah, very good. Sometimes I get a little confused looking at my own handwriting and don't trust my memory. Who else is east? Please come now.
KB4RSM, Mount Juliet. Earl in Norrie, southeast Wilson County.
All right, hold on, Earl. Let me get to you. Glenn, good to have you in there as well over there. You need to tell us your update on your tower. Or was that this weekend? But tell me later. That's a Kilo Bravo 4 Romeo Sierra Mike. He's here in Lebanon over a little farther east. And then Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Good to have you in there, Earl. Who else? And then Earl's down in southeast, down there east of, south and east a little bit at 11. Who else is east?
WF4EBX.
Yeah, man, you're really missing those breakfasts, aren't you, Eddie? That's Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray. We're going to have breakfast every day of the week when this is all over. That's Eddie, and he's over in Gladeville. Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray. Who else is east?
CE4TWI.
So, your signal improved. That's good. We were complaining about that earlier today when it was sunny. Good to have you in there, Wes. That was Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Great. In fact, it like quadrupled in quality. Who else is east?
Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor uniform.
Charlie Victor Uniform. Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Uniform. You left out the most important part, your name and your area.
Stephen, and I'm between Mount Juliet and Lebanon.
Ah, yes, I know where you are. Kind of like the Mount Lebanon, we'll call it. Very good. That was Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Victor Uniform, and that's Stephen in kind of between Mount Juliet and Lebanon. Who else is east?
Whiskey 4 Mike Uniform Foxtrot.
Hey, Jimmy, good to have you in there as well. That's my Whiskey 4 Mike Uniform Foxtrot over there by Lebanon Road, north of the high school. Anybody knows where that is? Well, I think a lot of people know where that is. Who else east?
WD4BWC.
Hey, Jeff, good to have you in there as well. Another one from Lebanon. Boy, Lebanon clogs up the airwaves here, doesn't it? It was Jeff in Lebanon, and it's Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo. It's Bravo. Whiskey Bravo Charlie. Man, I'm going to get that one. I do have that correct, don't I?
Whiskey are different variety of white clothes.
Yeah, it's BWC. I had it backwards. Sorry about that, Jeff. You think I'd know it after all this time. Who else is east? Please come now. Anybody else east?
Well, where's the west at? Is he mobile? I couldn't hear him.
Wait, one more time. Hold on, Earl. Somebody was trying to cut in there. Who was that last caller?
This is Will in Mount Juliet. Kilo 4. Yeah, hold on.
Kilo 4. One more time on the Kilo 4. Your signal's a little bit low to me, but go ahead again.
I'm going to have it on Kilo 4. Yeah, Romeo November.
Ah, very good, Will. You're in there, Mount Juliet, you said?
Yes.
Very good. That was Will in Mount Juliet. Kilo 4, Sierra Romeo. I believe I got November. Did I read my own writing again? That is Sierra Romeo November, correct?
Correct.
Ah, very good, Will. I just want to make sure. Who else? On a handheld, by the way. Who else is east, please come on. And by the way, Earl, no, he was. I believe you. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Ask me in a few minutes, Earl, because he sounded pretty good to me. That West did from down there from Watertown area. Who else is east? Any other east? Very good. Up to the north, please come on.
Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Road.
All right, I heard there was 2 in there, but I did get Mark in there, who's here in North Mount Juliet, or no, well, actually, North Wilson, Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar, and who was the other person?
KC8NNO Mobile, Lebanon Road near Greenhill.
Ah, very good. Northwest Wilson for Jeff, and he's mobile, and that was Kilo Charlie 8 November Oscar. Good to hear you again, Jeff. Who else north?
KN4KXA, Robert in Goodlettsville.
Very good, Robert. That's Robert in Goodlettsville, and that's Kilo November 4 Kilo X-Ray Alpha. Who else? Good to have you in there, Robert. Who else north?
W4DBD.
Hey, Brian. That's W4 Delta Bravo Victor. Brian, he's also in Northwest Wilson. Who else north? KB9RKK. Got you in there, Frank. Are you using the same antenna? Because you sounded lower right now. You're doing something different.
Well, I have a really bad copy on you today. Almost like you're using one water, too.
No, I think I'm still up there. I haven't changed anything, I don't think. Really low copy on you, huh? That's funny.
Yeah, it's barely above the noise almost, but everybody else is fine to me. And I almost hear like a tone in there. So something is up. But I am using the stock hand mic. I'm not using the headset because that was on the HF because I was trying to do DX again all day.
No, everything I'm doing here should be okay. I don't know why it would be different. Well, we'll find out in a minute. We'll find out how other people reported. Anybody else good? By the way, it was Frank Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo in Northwest Wilson. Who else is north? Anybody else north? All righty. I think we went all the way around. Is there any late check-ins from the entire round there?
Oh, whatever you're using, it sounds good here. Hi, Jay. Did you hit South JT?
Hold on one second. Okay, I got several answers in there and questions at the same time. I believe I heard "Don't Juggle Turtles" in there. Was that you, Don?
QSL.
All right, that's Whiskey 4 Delta Juliet Tango, and Don and Bon Aqua. Good signal. Heard somebody. Did Richard? Who else was it? Just asked me. I got in South yet or something.
KE4TYJ Jim in Woodbury.
Ah, very good. KE4TYJ, and that's Jim in Woodbury. Great signal, by the way, Jim. Who else is any late check-ins?
Yes, 5450. Rusty in Murfreesboro.
All right, we got a bunch in there. Rusty, I think I heard you in there. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
All right, Rusty. Wait a minute, N4. You think I'd recall that right off the top of my head? Give me a call again.
N8PPY.
Oh, that's right. It's that 8 call, man. You keep screwing everybody up with an 8 call. N8PPY. And Rusty in Murfreesboro. Who was the other late check-in?
Did you call West?
Yes, I did, but you can check in, Rick. Sure.
When did I miss that? I thought you started east. South.
I did. We went south. Oh, I think we did miss west, didn't we? I don't know the compass anymore, man.
Yeah. Rick and Ashton City. KN4 TJF.
Yeah, just trying to see if you're paying attention. Let's see. That's Kilo Mike. I'm getting my numbers wrong. Give me a call. TJF. I know that. Wait, give me a call one time, please.
Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot.
Yeah, I get one letter screw up in my brain, and the whole thing goes blank on me. That was Rick, by the way. In his last name is not by the way, but that's Rick in Ashland City, and that's Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet Foxtrot, or is it Kilo Mike 4? Hit me one more time.
It's Kilo November 4.
All right, very good. I'm just making sure because my writing is not always clear. Rick in Ashland City, Kilo November 4, Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Anybody else west that I think I skipped?
KM4RM.
You should have squared me way there, Michael.
Everybody else was jumping in. I didn't have a chance.
Just want to see if people are paying attention. How's that?
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Very good. That's Michael in Belshire. Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Who else west?
W14G.
Hey, very good to have you in there, Jeff, as well. In Madison. Good to have you in there. Good signal again, always. Who else west?
Still trying, KG4CXE.
All right, and that's Chris in, I think he's still in Donaldson, aren't you?
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a bunch of pileups. I keep, calling and everybody's talking over me.
Yeah, very good. Well, it's we're getting. I gotta find another pencil here. Well, we'll have to try something else. Very good. I ran out of pencil there. That's Chris in Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Good to have you in there, Chris. Which are you on the upstairs antenna now?
Yep, sounding better.
Oh yeah, sounds great. I think you'd have a J pole on the roof with that kind of signal. Who else? Anybody else late check-ins or west?
N5 TAW David in Madison.
Hey David, good to have you in there. I have to tell you that TAW throws me a curve because I did a lot of business with a company down in Tampa, and it was Tampa Armature Works, and of course that was TAW to everybody in town. They were a big long-term company down there. Anyway, good to have you in there, David. And David, you're where again?
Madison.
Madison, very good. Gotcha. Good signal out of Madison, and that is November 5 TAW, right?
That's correct.
All right, very good. So I'll make sure. Who else? Any other late check-ins? Please come in.
November 4, Victor Tango India.
Bravo.
All right, we got 2 or 3 in there, but in this case, let me go where I got Charlie in there first. Good to have you in there, Charlie. One of our youngest, probably the youngest guy in the group. Charlie, he's in North Wilson County. November 4, Victor Tango India. There was a couple more in there. Please come in.
Kilo November 4, Juliet Sierra Bravo. Frank in Pleasantview.
Hello, Frank. And that's Kilo November 4, Juliet Sierra Bravo. Frank in Pleasantview. I'm fantastic. By the way, that's 33 in there so far. So who else is there late?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Jack in Donaldson.
Very good, Jack. You sound good. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor in Donaldson. Who else west or anywhere? Did we run out of people? I was running out of paper. That was 31, 2, 3, 34 people. Wow. Hope you can all participate, or at least a lot of people can participate in the sideband that is going to follow on 144.240. I hate to keep talking about it, and I don't want to tonight unless you feel compelled to, about the I guess I'll ask a quick question. Does anybody know anyone, personally, I mean, somebody in your family or extended circle of friends that actually has the virus? Because I haven't met anybody yet who's had it or knows anybody who has it. Is there anybody out there who knows somebody who has it? Boy, that's a big resounding no, isn't it? Is everybody sure about that question? Because I can't believe that out of these 34 people, and you each have a circle of friends of at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen, maybe 3 to 4 or 5 dozen, and nobody knows anybody who's got that coronavirus. Wow. I think it's a hoax. What do you think? No, I wouldn't say that. But got too many people getting it and around the world, at least according to the stats I look at. But anyway, I don't want to dwell on that. I guess the question tonight I was going to ask about is in this downtime that many of us have. I have the downtime anyway. I'm retired. It doesn't have anything to do with Down syndrome, which is downtime. But improvements to the station, to the feed lines, to the radios, to whatever you're doing. Are you spending more time on the air on HF or in whatever else you're doing on the radio? Is that changing at all for anybody? Well, was not a very provocative question. Is anybody having any fun on the radio with all this downtime?
I've been working on the project. Okay, I'm sorry. Finally got my 40 meter. I got double what you call.
Oh no, you're good. Hold on. Say again there what you were saying, Don. You had to get something there.
Yeah, and for DJT for license preservation purposes, I've been knocking the snot out of 15 meters, up to 90 towards my DACC. So I jumped about 30 countries since I put the beam up, and got my 40 meter wire going, and been knocking out 80 meters and 10 and 6, and yeah, I've been doing radio all over the place.
You're not doing any work apparently?
Well, I've been doing work, but most of it's a hurry up and wait, since my job pretty much consists of herding cats. We're in this holding pattern right now for some new products, so I do some work, but all work and no play makes Don a bad boy.
Yeah, and also makes him do a lot less radio when you're doing more work. Now that sounds good. A lot of stuff on 15 meters. How many contacts did you make on 15?
I've made a bunch. I got a bunch of duplicates, but yeah, I think when I got the Nervasa up, I was sitting at about 60. Yeah, look, maybe at 60, and I'm up to 90. So it's been up for 3 weeks. So I've been just knocking out the ACC. But it's still 15 meters during the day, and then in the morning I just point the beam towards the EU, and then in the afternoons I'll swing it back and forth, and then in the evenings I point it to the northwest and southwest, see if I can pick up any Asia contacts. And, yeah, just kind of once you get past once you get to the 90 country mark, it's like the long, slow slog of in sniper mode, waiting for targets of opportunity to pop up. So it's a lot of just watching grass grow.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I've heard that same complaint. Once you get the easy, the low hanging fruit, as they say, the stragglers are the hard ones to get. Very good. A lot of activity on 15 meters for Don out there with his new towers and new antennas and the beam he's got. So he's been having a lot of fun. Stan, you mentioned something in there about some project.
Yeah, that's a power project that I kind of put on the shelf for a long time. Putting a personnel back together, and I had some tubes floating around, and I was unsure if they were any good or not. So kind of real careful about bringing it up. And seems like it's working okay.
Cool. Yeah, well, with a lot of free time on your hands, you could do a lot of things. You're right. I should be doing more than I'm doing, but it's hasn't changed a whole lot for me since I've been retired for 10 years. So this change isn't too much because my wife is still working. So none of our routines have really changed, other than we can't go out to eat unless we do takeout, and we can't. There's nowhere to go. We can't even, now all the parks are closed. Can't even walk in the park. Pretty soon they're probably going to close the roads, so we can't walk. I mean, as it is, it's there's nowhere really to go unless you just go for a drive. No one's ever been stopped. That's another question. Then it seems to come up that you can't even be out if it's not an urgent job or an urgent requirements to get outside. And nobody's ever been stopped by the police, have they?
Not that I know of. But whenever at work, whenever they saw this, it was probably going to get worse. They gave us like one of those free passes that tells that you're like a tier 1 individual, and that you're vital to the COVID-19 virus. So don't hold us up, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, they gave United States Postal Service gave my wife some kind of a pass or a piece of paper that says they're really important people and they have to get to work. But I can't imagine them stopping anybody, quite honestly. I really can't. Otherwise, they'd have to stop a lot of people. Well, very good. Stan, anybody else doing anything special during this downtime besides home chores? Boy, lively group tonight. Maybe I ought to change the question.
I'm not staying at home, Paul, KE4TYJ. Everybody started here in the COVID-19 or the Chronos.
That's what I'm saying. You checking in there, are you, Ray?
Hello, can I? May I? Could I? Would I?
Yes, of course you can. KG4 General Motors reject according to your standards there. How you doing, Ray?
See, the whole thing is it's not KG, it's KJ.
Well, there you go. Just shows my Alzheimer's is kicking in tonight. Sorry about that, Ray. I got it straight now. Because I know both you and the XYL are KJs. I should remember that.
That's right. Oh, you talking about stopping? I got it writing all over my trucks, buddy, and them dudes. I asked that one, I said, really, is this all you got to do is stop me? I said, all these years I've run up and down through here, and now you decide you want to stop me and look at me. Have a good day. I just took old John and old gear, just walked on away from me.
Why were they stopping you, Ray?
Well, you know what I was doing.
That's pretty funny. Were you in your towing truck?
Oh, yeah, all the strobes running. Daggone car on the bank, everything. I thought, now, what's this fool stopping me for? And he had the dog come up right there. What are you doing? Well, I mean, what do you think I'm doing?
I think you got a target on your back, Ray.
You should have said you're fishing for cars. I told him, you got to be joking. I really, honestly, you joking. Ain't you? Oh, no. That's good day. Bye.
Was that the Sumner sheriff?
Yeah, old John, he was over in Westmoreland. I mean, not Westmoreland, but over at Oak Grove. I come up out of there. I have an old car on back. And he was, yeah, that guy could have waited a little while longer. I said, well, you know what? Man paid you to do something, you go do.
Yeah, that's wild. I wouldn't have thought they'd stop a service vehicle like yours. That's kind of weird. Well, very good. You holding up all right, though, amidst all this craziness?
Oh, yeah. I'm all of them. I just, they took the fight out of working on them because everybody's scared to, come down here. I got one down there I got to fix, but everybody's just, they want to stay in. Very few cars are being hauled because, like I say, up there at the junkyard, they're afraid to go in up there, or they're afraid you go coming around them, or, something like that.
Well, what's odd about that is just like you may not have heard me ask that question early. Out of the 35 people now, there's nobody on the list who knows anybody who's got the virus.
Yeah, I thought about getting out my hazmat too, going to Walmart. See what happens.
You really do want to put a target on yourself, don't you, Ray?
But it'd be something funny to do.
Oh yeah, it would be. You're right. Well, very good. Ray was just for those of anybody couldn't hear Ray, he was saying he was out in his service vehicle and he got stopped by the police asking him what he was doing out and why he was out, which is kind of silly because he has a wrecker service and and he had his lights on and everything, his flashing lights. He got like I said, I think you got a target on your back there, Ray.
Well, what can I say? Mama said she's going to have to put a leash on.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to hold up. It's going to have to be a pretty big chain on that leash.
I said, yeah, that's when you'll be moving on.
Wow. I don't think so. After what, 42 years?
44.
44 years. There you go. I don't think you or she is going anywhere. Well, very good, Ray. Good to have you in there. Anybody else? Only one person who actually got stopped. That's funny. It had to be Ray. Anybody else wanting to check in?
Hey, Paul, KM4TM, Tom in Rockville. Good evening.
Hey, Tom, you sound good. How's my signal down in Rockville there, Tom?
It's doing better. It's better than it had been. You're up to S6 and S7 now, and I was getting you about a 2 and a 3, so it's improving, and I hope I'm improving up there too. I just realized that I for some reason was thinking the net was on Sunday night, so I checked in late, but I guess better late than never, right?
Yeah, that's right. Being number 36 on the list today, I think you helped us break the all-time record for checking.
Well, I'm honored. I sure am. I don't know how many of the others are hearing me. I'm not hearing very many besides yourself, Paul. So I guess it's just kind of between you and I. But anyway, we're surviving the shut-in just fine. It's very similar to our retired life. So we're taking to it like a duck to water down here.
Yeah, well, I think all the hams I know, what they're waiting for is that $1,200 so they can go out and buy a new antenna and a radio.
Yep. That'll be a good down payment on a new tower for me. How about that? But no, we're all good. I think I heard you mention a minute ago that nobody in the group here even knows anybody that's tested positive for the coronavirus, and that goes for us too. We don't know anybody that has it.
Isn't that funny? I'm just saying, out of 35 people, and I'm guessing everybody knows about 20 people at least. I know it's usually more than that, but relatives and friends and acquaintances, whether it's in church or other social organizations, I don't know anybody who knows anybody who has the virus. I read about them and I hear about them, but just it's like Tennessee's got to be the best place in the world to be.
Thank you, go, huh? So, comment. I guess that's a good thing.
Hold on, comment.
No complaints.
KG4TXE. So my cousin, his wife, her aunt has it, and she's a nurse. So I do know someone that, not indirectly, has it.
Seeing it go down.
All right, hold on, Chris.
Maybe a little bit too early to say for sure. But anyway, Paul won't hold the net up. Just wanted to wave a hand and good evening to any of those out there that can hear me. This is Tom again in Rockville, Southwest Rutherford County. Back to you, Paul. K4PEW, KM410.
Yeah, very good. Chris, you were doubling because I don't think you could hear Tom over in Rockville, but you said you did know somebody you did know who was a nurse who did have the coronavirus.
Yeah, sorry, my ears are horrible. I apologize. Yeah, so my cousin, his wife, her aunt has it, and she's a nurse. So that's the only person that it's kind of indirect. I don't know the lady, but I thought it was odd that the symptoms were stomach related, so gastrointestinal symptoms. Kind of crazy.
Well, that's knowing somebody who knows somebody. I mean, that's not unusual. It's part of your extended family. But no, that isn't. One person out of 35 has an extended somebody that they, and usually that would be big news in any circle of friends or family.
Hey, yeah, I'm sure as soon as my mom heard about it, she told everybody that But yeah, it's interesting. I think she's going to be okay though. Hers is not respiratory, so this thing's kind of a wild card.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. There was somebody called my name.
Yeah, they think it's my niece got it. They are not sure. They're still running more tests. I found that out today.
Aha, and she's in the hospital, is she?
Yeah, over Springfield.
Huh. Well, does she get out a lot out into the public? Is that what she does? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Is she out there meeting people all the time?
I don't know. That's the part of the family that I don't get around very much. I tried to get a hold of my sister this morning, and I just, I caught this on Facebook. And anyway, I tried to get a hold of her this morning. So I don't know. I guess I really ain't going over the age I am. And I'm sticking my nose out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, if it wasn't for family, none of us would have any problems.
All I know is that my heart and soul goes out to her if she's got it, because she's 4 months pregnant.
She says she's pregnant, is she?
4 months.
Yeah, well, we don't hope that doesn't get any worse than that. Being pregnant and having this could be, well, I guess it would be horrible in any case, but it's more horrible if she's carrying a child, obviously. Well, very good. Good to have you in there, Ray, and good to have Tom in there, and good for their feedback from one person out of 36 so far who knows somebody who's got the virus. That's kind of interesting. I would expect there to be more, but what do I know?
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Hey, are we checking Zoe in?
We can. Is Zoe checking in, or is she not liking you today, Ray?
Oh, yeah, she's here somewhere.
Somewhere. And that's KJ4. Oh, shoot. I forgot her call.
HNV.
Very good. HNV. Good to have you in there, Zoe, wherever you are. I'm sure you're copying what Ray's talking about. Did you have anything else, Michael?
There was some weak station in there trying to check in. Mike, can you hear me? This is KG4S. Can Paul hear me? Probably me. I think it's Charles.
All right, I'll take that as a relay. Very good. That was Charles, KG4SF. KG4SFF. Charles, I believe he's in Hermitage.
Oh, Hickory.
I had that wrong. I'm sorry about that. Old Hickory. Very good. Well, that makes 37, 38. Wow, we're really clocking them in there tonight. Richard, did you have something else? Did I hear Richard in there?
No, I can't believe I got in there before James did tonight, but I'm making headway.
Well, no, you actually keyed up, and then I heard your voice first. I didn't, I recognized your voice. I recognized most of the guys' voices have been around for a while. It just I heard your voice, and then James came slamming in on top of you. You just need more power, I think.
I know what I gotta do something besides this 50 watts I'm trying to do. Y'all carry on. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy down and on the net. And thank you for what you do. Y'all take care. Talk to you when I can. KI4S, I'll be back to net.
Well, apparently we do a lot doing. We got 38 check-ins tonight, which is it might be a new U.S. record.
39.
Is it 39? Who'd I miss?
You probably.
2, 3. Well, you might have to fill me in. We'll run through that later. Well, it really was 39. Huh. Very good. No, okay, we'll go over that later. Let's see. Anybody else have any? No, nobody else knows anybody else. That's good. I'm actually glad that's happening because if it were hitting this kind of a problem, this kind of health problem, were to go sweep through Tennessee, it would certainly sweep through people who are A, older, and most hams are relatively old, and B, hams who are relatively old often have other problems, whether they be diabetes or lung problems, any kind of problem. Just all kinds of silly health problems that we all have when we get older. And I just knew that it'd be pretty horrible to wipe through a ham community because they'd be more susceptible than others. But I don't know any hams who have it either, and I haven't heard of anybody.
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know some personal people that actually have the coronavirus. One's a dear friend of mine, Amanda Gilbert, is the activities director in Gallatin at the nursing facility.
Oh boy, yeah, is that the one that had the problems? Some of the problems?
Yes, they had several. I think there were probably over 100 people.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't. I just thought how not ironic, how kind of predictable, because obviously everybody who's in a nursing home has debilitations, and they would be susceptible to just about any virus. But you see, that friend of yours, she's a nurse, is she?
She's an activities director. She left Creekside, my facility, as the business office manager, and took that position as activities director.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, an activities director at that Creekside, I think you said it was in Goodlettsville, which had all those problems with inmates, so to speak. Not the inmates, but the residents at a nursing home had so many problems, and that's not a very good situation to be in a nursing home, that's for sure, that's having this kind of a problem now. So there we go. We had a couple of people that we know of two, but even so, 2 out of 39 seems pretty slim to me. But like I said, Tennessee's apparently a good place to be.
KB4 is
Comment.
Hey, hold on. Let me take Tom in as a check-in. KB4SFN. You make number 40 tonight, Tom.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. By the way, the safest place in the world to be for the virus now is North Korea. They have absolutely no infected people, no deaths, 100%. Everything's perfect.
Yeah, that's the hunky-dory country, isn't it?
Yeah, more dory than hunky, I think. Whatever. Anyway, you guys continue on, and just wanted to be sure to check in. KB4SFN.
Yeah, very good, Tom. That was Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot November. He's over there in Martha, and he was just saying that the best country to be in these days is probably North Korea, where they have absolutely no cases whatsoever.
I want to be 41.
Who is this, Greg?
K4QPR.
Ah, K4QPR. K4QPR. And I forget where you live. Laverne, there we go. How you doing there? I think of your name in a second. Hang on. Man, that's horrible when I skip a name here on my brain. Tell me again.
Russell.
Yeah, how can I forget Russell? Sorry about that, Russell. You haven't checked in a while, and I guess my mind erases you. It's one of those games like, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those machines. I always joke about this. The machines that have all those quarters or 50-cent pieces in it. No, I think it's quarters. And you put in quarters and it's supposed to slide off the end and the quarters are supposed to fall. that's what happens. The quarters never seem to fall.
I've seen the game, yeah. I have to remember to tell you, my wife welcomes you back on the air.
Welcomes me back on the air. Why would she? Well, in what way? Oh, you mean from when I was off for a while because of the antenna issue?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, that was a horrible. Well, it wasn't horrible that I was off the air. It was horrible that didn't have any power for a better part of a week, and it wasn't so bad. We were actually, the restaurants were still, we still went out to eat, and it was kind of nice to be able to do that. But now we can't even do that. But we have power now. We don't have to worry about it. But it was a little bit weird because it was cool that week, so, and not having any heat, and so we were roaring the fireplace on occasion and kind of enjoying the fireplace and sitting in the dark. And I got to tell you this story. Well, hold on one second. It's funny you mentioned that. We were using, of course, flashlights. We didn't have a generator; it just wasn't important to us to have the power. So we'd just mess around with our handheld, our smartphones, and I'd also have the radio. I had my portable radio, so I'd listen to those, the battery operated handhelds. But anyway, the ladybugs would sneak into the house in that cold weather, and I would take a big one of the LED flashlights and set it, base down on the table, and it would shine up onto the white ceiling, so it would light up the room reasonably well, just to get around, without tripping over each other. And what was funny was, you put that light up, and within a few minutes, you'd look up and there'd be 2 or 3 ladybugs right in the middle of the light, seeking that light. It was like, what kind of a crazy bug is that, seeking out a flashlight light?
Is it any different from a moth?
I guess not, because it was just funny to me that it was a light on the ceiling. They weren't going after the flashlight. They were going after the light on the ceiling. And it was just kind of cute that they just do it no matter what. They're just looking for light, even though it's in the middle of the night,
I thought you might say, and another minute later, we had 30.
No, there was a few. There'd be more than 2 or 3 or 4, but there wasn't that many in the house. But man, some days, if you've been in, I noticed it here more than I've noticed it anywhere I've lived, that those ladybugs can be swarming at certain times of the year, depending upon, I guess, when it gets warm in the spring. I haven't seen that swarm recently. No, I saw it a few months ago. I don't remember what the deal was, though. They were all over the place, and they'd land on you, and there was hundreds of them.
Wow, I can't remember that you've even seen them yet.
Oh yeah, no, we got them around here, that's for sure. By the way, there was Russell. He's in Laverne. It's Kilo 4 Quebec Papa Romeo. Good signal. That antenna's holding up good down there.
Yes, sir, it is. I've gotten a couple other antennas for the HF, so I'm kind of working on them too.
Awesome, because you're 60 over to me, so you're doing real good. By the way, that was Russell again. Kilo 4 Quebec Papa Romeo. He's got a nice antenna up there above the peak of his house, and he's in Laverne. Of course, Laverne would be good to me anyway, but he's really made dramatic improvements in his system, and he'd be number 41, I believe. What is unbelievable? We don't want any more check-ins. That's it. No more. No, we'll be happy to take more. This K4 PEW. Is there any more check-ins?
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Boy, oh boy, John. You're now 42. You know that. 40, not years. You wish. 40, number 42 on the list tonight.
Yeah, you're right. I wish. Yeah, I was down on the shop. KL4 CDP. Sitting,
Hold on.
the radio upstairs, so I just got up here.
Oh, very good, John. No, that's good. I had another caller in there. It was a Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Delta Papa. Was that the right name? Right call?
Oh, that's correct.
All right. The name again, please, and location.
Name's David. First time check-in. I'm in Sumner County up here in White House.
Ah, the big city of White House. Very good, David. How did you find out about the net?
I've been monitoring. I've been listening to the net for quite a while. I've had my ticket for a couple months, and I just monitor a lot of the nets. Enjoyed listening to it. I like this new format that you've got going on and everything. So I just thought I'd go ahead and throw my number in the hat.
Ah, very good. Well, we're glad to have you. I mean, I always presumed that there were more out there than checked in, just because we kind of drug out the other way. You got to remember when we first started, there was only a handful of us, and as the years slogged on, we averaged, after about 4 years, we were doing about averaging 12 or 13 or so, or 14. It went up and down around 12, and then as I got onto YouTube and we got more publicized, it went from 12 to somewhere in the mid to high 20s most of the time. Sometimes, like we had some that went up into the 30s, but now today we're up in the 40s. So you can see the problem with trying to take a long check-in.
Oh yeah. Well, I think this new format you've got going on is working really well for you. But anyway, 7-3 to everybody in there on the net listening tonight, and appreciate you taking my call.
Yeah, very good. That was David. He's in White House, and that's Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie. It is Charlie Delta Papa, correct?
That's correct. Charlie Delta Papa.
Very good. Hey, Jeff, are you still in here from Madison? You still there? Maybe Jeff went to bed. I was going to ask him. He works for the public transit system in Davidson. I'm just wondering how much traffic was going on the bus system in Davidson County. But I think he took off on me. He works 6 days a week, so I'm pretty sure he's probably pretty tired. Any other check-ins before we move on?
KI4SOR.
KI4. Oh, you're going to check in? Oh, you just wanted to get the number up, didn't you, Richard?
Why not? And I do have a proxy.
All right, very good. All right, sounds good. I forgot your wife's first name. Tell me again.
I'm going to spell it because I can't say it hardly sometimes. It's Steethney, Stephanie.
It's Stephney, correct?
Correct.
Very good. I just met for the first time. We just got a new neighbor a few weeks ago, and I got her name, and then I met her husband a week or so later, and I said, forgive me. I said, I forgot your wife's first name. It was kind of an odd name because it was. And his name is Michael, nice, easy name. And her name was he says, don't forget it. Her name is Trenda. He goes, I think her mother made up a name, a cross between Tricia and Linda.
Well, my wife's mother gave her this name, and she's always said it with an A in it, and there's not one in it. She calls her Stephanie.
Well, there's people who call, forgive me if I'm insulting anyone, but I've heard people call, let's see, down in the south of here is, what's that town south of here? Starts with an S.
Savannah.
S. I've heard people say Smyrna. Does anybody call it Smyrna?
Just like the Bible.
Yeah, that's right. It is right. No, I meant the pronunciation. I know the name's good, but it was the pronunciation. It sounds like Smyrna, not Smyrna.
I've heard people call it Smyrna.
Oh, is that right? That wouldn't be very. It would be like Smirnoffs. That wouldn't be good.
That's right. There's no U in Smyrna. It's just up the road from Laverne.
Yeah, that's right, Lavergne. Well, everybody in Wilson County pronounces Lebanon wrong, but that's just me.
Correct pronunciation of any city is whatever the locals call.
That's correct. You got it. I know. I've seen that in just like here in Tennessee. There's a few names. One of them that comes to mind is Lafayette. That's the one. And anybody else who looked at a map think it was Lafayette. Same thing with a town. I used to work for a factory that was in a place called Stanton in Virginia, and it's spelled Staunton, and everybody in the world would call it Staunton, but it's Stanton, and they're the ones who make up the rules.
Yes, people like to call Louisville, Louisville, all sorts of crazy things.
Yeah, I learned that a long time ago, that the correct pronunciation is not Louisville.
It's kind of like you're trying to clear your throat.
Yeah, it's just Louisville. Well, if anybody, I grew up about 90 miles from Toronto, and everybody in the planet would call it Toronto, 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 except that's not how they pronounce it. It's Toronto. It leaves out everything. It's Toronto.
Really? Hadn't heard that one.
Oh, yeah, no, really. If you ever meet anybody from that area, ask them what's the big city in Ontario, and they'll tell you it's Toronto.
Kind of run it all together.
Yeah, that's right. They do. Hey, they're Canadians. They can do anything they want. Anybody else got anything for the net or late check-ins? Please come now. Well, we can. If anybody else got anything to discuss or anything they want to bring up, we'll move on to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. Has anybody got anything else they want anything they want to buy? Like more time. Has anybody got anything they want to sell? Well, we're the only store that's open and nobody wants to sell anything?
K4OEN, Mary, how are you, Paul?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. You know how many you make in here, Mary, don't you?
No, I haven't heard. I knew a while back the number, but I don't know now.
Well, I believe you make number 45.
Really? That is wonderful. That's good. There's one good thing about being quarantined. Everybody misses talking to friends and family and everything.
Well, yeah, you'd think in the days that we have right now, the only thing I can say is that I still think that there is a longing for personal contact, even though we've got 97 ways to text each other and email each other and all of that stuff. There's still a yearning among people to actually have real people in front of them.
I totally agree with you. I think that's one thing we're just so lacking in, even among family members. You know, you see everybody sitting at the table out to eat, and they're all on their devices, and nobody's talking to each other. That's sad to me because you know that's where you communicate with your family and make contacts with other people. It's just that's missing in today's society, I think.
Well, you figure, Mary, we've got a generation of kids. I say kids because I'm 70, almost 71, that has grown up with looking at smartphones for 15. I don't know how long we've had smartphones, but we've had something like that with phones at least 15 years, maybe. I'd have to look back and see what the thing is, or where we could do texting. And so you go 15 years, and so anybody who's 25 started when they were 10 years old. And even if they were 30, they started at 15 years old. So that's all they really know is, not all they know, but you know, that method of communication and staring at a phone. I don't know. I don't like it.
Me neither. I don't like it as well. Well, I hope everybody's doing all right out there and staying at home and staying safe. And I hope everybody is feeling good and healthy these days.
Yep, hope so too. Is Marty around today?
He's right here. You have a good evening, Paul. K4OEN.
Very good. That was Mary. That's Kilo Delta 4 Oscar Echo November, and Marty's up next. Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Quebec Kilo. How you doing, Marty?
84 BQK, and I'm right here.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like you and Mary are doing good, being quarantined.
Yeah, never have done that before.
No, I don't think any of us have. The only thing I relate it to, and I've probably mentioned it before, is that when we'd be deployed when I was in the Navy, you're quarantined with the other 220 guys for a couple of three. Well, so I think the longest time at sea we spent was about 35 days, and that's a long time not seeing land or people besides your buddies, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. My father'd have to tell me that.
Oh yeah, now being away from again, there's going to be a lot of changes. I think people will be really more forgetting the virus is behind us, and that comes. I think that people will be happy to get out and get with other people, and there'll be a pent-up demand for having more fun with people.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. I mean, all the churches are empty, and I don't know. I expect them to be full when this gets over with.
Yeah. It'd be a good day.
I think so. Be very good. Well, very good, Marty. It was good to hear you in there. That's Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Quebec Kilo, Marty, and his better half, Kilo Delta 4 Oscar Echo November. I think I said that wrong earlier. It's Kilo Delta 4 Oscar Echo November, and they're both in Belshire. Anybody else with late check-ins?
KJ4, J in a Kilo Juliet 4, Juliet Echo Golf.
Ah, very good. I heard you in there. Did your husband put you up to this, Lori?
Absolutely.
Well, we're setting a new world record for check-ins on Simplex.
I was cleaning out old file papers and getting a shred bin going.
We've got a continuous one of those going on here all the time. We get so much stuff that just needs to be shredded because, I don't know, maybe we're just paranoid.
I agree. Well, I think we actually have quite a bit because I haven't done it in a long time. But being cooked up makes you clean house.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can come over and help with us because I've still got a lot of work to do.
Well, thank you very much. See you later. Bye, guys.
Yeah, very good, Lori. Good to have you in there. Kilo Juliet for Juliet Echo Golf. I did get that correct now. Kilo Juliet, right?
That is correct.
All right, very good. I just want to make sure. I hate to get them wrong, and I don't use a cheat sheet. I suppose I could, but I don't multitask very good on the radio, looking at a computer or another printout to verify things. So I try to kind of hopefully trust my ears and my eyes and what's left of my brain. Anybody else? That was number like 47, I think. So, is any other check-ins before we move on?
You know, Paul, if you ever hit 50 check-ins, we're going to have to start calling you the King of Simplex. All hail the King.
I don't know about that, Jimmy. It's again, while I may be the facilitator, as some people would say in this age of what's going on, but I wouldn't have anything if people didn't check in. And I guess I just make it happen to some degree. I don't make it happen. I'm here, and I've been doing it regularly now for it'll be 6 years, I think, in September. That's what I think it is. We're doing 5.5 years or so. Yep, Jimmy, it's pretty cool, really. I like the idea that there's so much interest, and I'm surprised that there aren't more people caught onto this on other ways and other places. And I think we put together not just the Simplex net, but tying it together with a decent email distribution and a little website and having the YouTube feed, which helps people connect with hearing what they can hear.
Yep.
All righty. Any other check-ins before we move on to we were going to skip that buy, sell, swindle. That I didn't hear anybody wanting to buy or sell anything. Either that or nobody's got any money, or nobody wants any money. And me being independently poor, I don't have those problems. Anybody want late check-in before I move on to the 144.240 sideband?
Call me in.
Say again?
Call me in.
Oh, go ahead, Earl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just like to daggone for those that can hear, whichever is have a happy Saturday, but mainly to I don't know, put a plug in or plug out or for audio review or check on this here ICM microphone I'm using on this ICOM 9700 over here. I've been having it on my 756 Pro on my HF side, but if any for inexpensive audio, whatever it may be, different out there on versus the stock mic I've been having, just thought I'd little swippy swappy and going through my shelves over here and almost doing the old hokey pokey, but only shake all about as it gets when I run that chainsaw or ride the lawnmower. Anyway, y'all be good, be safe, and hang on tight and enjoy the ride. KE4DEZ.
Yeah, very good, Earl. Actually, your audio is very good tonight, and your signal is very good as well.
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead there, Ray.
You're talking about everybody will be gathering up after this thing's over with, and it'll be like 9/11. They'll forget about it tomorrow.
Well, they may. You're right. They just may. But this one's going along a lot. It's in a different mode, though, of 9/11. 9/11 was a call to action, and then, of course, that action kind of goes away. But this one, I don't know, because not connecting with neighbors and friends and church and family is, and again, you can't go to funerals, can't go to weddings, can't go to nothing. So it's kind of, I think it's going to be a little different, but you may be right. It may be the same thing. But Earl, your audio is outrageously good tonight.
So, what can you say? And here's my better half, so she can, throw her call sign in there. That way I won't get no trouble for doing it for her.
AK4 shouldn't be in and out.
See? Told you.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Good to have you in there, Zoe. And that was KG4.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Good to hear your wife in there better half or other half in there too, Ray. I appreciate the audio check. Of course, I'm doing about 10 or 20 more watts than what I normally do. That might be the difference on the signal and everything. I just thought I'd throw that out there, not to advertise or anything, but you know, there's not that much difference. But I don't know. But you know, what y'all hear is what it is.
No, I heard you're in there great. The audio is very good. And Zoe, I appreciate you checking in. I was thanking you and I forgot to push the talk button. So good to have you in there, Zoe. And Earl, no, your audio is good, and that new microphone seems to be better than it's been in the. Not that it was horrible before, but the audio that you have on that microphone, plus it's still an S7. It's not like you're knocking down the RF thing over here on my radio, but it's a very good audio with very little hash in the background.
Okay. Yeah, there's a relatively inexpensive audio upgrade, I think, for a Howell microphone. But like I say, it's not new. I've been using it on my other rig, but thought I'd flip-flop around and do the hokey pokey, so to speak. I don't like anything else to do, but glad everybody's hanging in there and doing, you know, I guess perhaps on a lighter note, maybe this isolation thing and whatnot, you know, maybe increase family understanding and compassion for one another, you know, share the love, so to speak. Maybe that might be a good thing. That might change, come out of all this. KE4DZ.
Yeah, I'd like to think this might change it somewhat. I hope for the better, just like you said. I hope it does. Ray's a little more pessimistic about it, but he may be right too. I don't know. I really do believe that people do enjoy meeting and seeing other people, friends, relatives, etc. Usually there's some relatives I don't want to see, but that's a different story. All right, unless I get another check in, I'm going to move right over to the 144-240 net. Very good. Let me check over there. We're moving over to 144.240. That's upper sideband, and I'll see you there momentarily. This is K4PEW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net, and we're on 144.240 upper sideband, and we will start with the south again. Please come now. Hey, you know, for a guy who talks a lot, you didn't say one word on the net tonight.
I know I was over here about to fall asleep, but anyway, good to hear everybody tonight.
Yeah, very good, Rusty. Yeah, no, I didn't mean this. That sounded wrong after I said it. It's not a guy who talks, a guy who's got a lot to say. That's not qualified. Who else left south? Please come now. Anybody else south? Please come now.
Hey, Paul, I'll give it a try. KM4TM, Tom and Rockville.
Tom, you're coming across real good. You sound great. Who else south? Please come now. All right, we'll move over to the east. Please come now.
KE4TWI.
You know, Earl wasn't hearing you earlier. Did you get that? Did you hear him say that?
I did. He was really weak, but I'm on the beam. He is at a particular angle to my beam.
Okay, it was a beam issue. Gotcha. I wondered why that was kind of odd for him not to hear you. Very good. That was West in Watertown. Who else? East?
KB4. That explains.
Yeah, very good. I had Earl in there too. I also heard. I think I heard. What did I hear now? Anyway, let me do it. We got KB4 RSM, and then we had KE4 DEZ. I did get that right, didn't I, Earl?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. Who else was in there besides Glenn and Earl on the east?
Whiskey 4, money up front.
Money up front. Very good. That was Jimmy. We got you in there, Jimmy. Whiskey 4 MUF. Who else is up next east?
KB4 SFM.
Hey, all righty. Tom got you in there too. Who else east?
N4 NYA.
Hey, very good, Dale. Sound good. Dale in Lebanon, N4 NYA. Who else is up next east? Up to the north then, north of Mount Juliet. Please come down.
KB9 RKK.
KB9 RKK. Frank. All right, good. Who else? A good signal, Frank. Who else? Is it still low?
No, I went up in the attic and moved the wire around, and I couldn't find nothing wrong. But when I came down, it was much better. So something must have been amiss.
Aha, you got rats up there, I bet you. Who else? It couldn't have been me. No, it could have been me. It could have been very well been me. Who else is north? Please come down.
WB0, nasty, obnoxious operator.
Well, that's you join the club. How you doing, Mark? You sound good. Kilo Bravo, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. Who else is north? Over to the west then.
November 4, don't juggle turtle.
Outrage. How much power are you running over there, Don?
100 watts.
Okay, for 100, you're doing fantastic. Really, it sounds good.
That's for the 1,000 watts in the wire in a couple of weeks, so.
Well, let me know so I can go and buy an attenuator.
Roger.
Very good. We got Don and Bon Aqua. Bon Aqua. Who else? West.
KM4YRF.
Very good. Got you in there, Michael. Who else? Did you ever get Rick? Did Rick ever get his hands on a 10 meter?
I'm probably going to take my Kenwood 450 up there and hook it up.
Do you have another radio besides the 450?
Yeah, I've got the 991.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's a dumb question. Very good. All right. Who else? Good. That was Michael there in Belshire. Who else? West.
Whiskey 4, Alpha, Whiskey Echo.
Very good. How are you copping everybody tonight, John?
Real good, especially over here on my side of town.
Very good. Yeah, the signals are all good to me, but I'm easy. I'm in the middle of this consortium.
It helps.
It does help. You're right. Very good. Anybody else west or late checking? All righty. Well, I'll do the rundown backwards. Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo, John in Bellevue, and Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. That's Michael in Belshire. We got Don in Bon Aqua, November 4 Delta Juliet Tango. And then we got Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar. He's in North Wilson County up by the weather station. And Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo, and he's over there in Northwest Wilson as well. By the way, your signal is good, and it was a little lower than normal before, so I'm pretty sure you did have a wire problem, like I mentioned to you. That's what clued me into that. Anyway, Dale over there in Lebanon, November 4, November Yankee Alpha. It was good to have you in on both of these nuts here, Dale. You helped set a new world's record. I think it is. I can't imagine the Simplex not getting 40. I think it was 48. I'll have to get verified on that. Have it taken it to the club president over there who keeps track of me. Who else we got? Dale. Oh, anyway, Kilo Bravo 4, Sierra Foxtrot November. That's Tom over in Martha. And Whiskey 4, Mike Uniform Foxtrot. That's Jimmy here in Mount Juliet up by the Lebanon Road. And Glenn, Kilo Bravo 4, Romeo Sierra Mike. Mike, you hang around and tell me if you did anything this weekend on the towers. And West, Kilo Echo 4 Tango, Whiskey India. He is over there in Watertown, near Watertown. I don't want to say he's in Watertown because he's not. And Tom, Kilo Mike 4, Tank, Murfreesboro, November 8, Papa Yankee. And then, of course, yours truly, K4P. I didn't even count myself. So that makes 14 on the upper sideband net on 144, 240. Great net. I'm closing the net, and I'm going to shut down the live stream here. Have a good night, everybody. But I'm going to hang around. All righty. Good night, K4P, Debbie.
You skipped me. KE4 DEZ, you didn't write me down.
KE, I think I missed saying it. You're right, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. I got the right number. I just didn't say it a second time. Sorry about that, Earl. I actually stopped ending the stream here, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it loose now. And we're going for broke here. This is the end. Goodbye. There we go. That kills the stream there.